This is a very powerful scent, characterised by really strong animalic notes. It lingers in the air, it stays in the room long after the person has left. Longevity, sillage, beast mode. It grabs you by the nostrils and says, I'm here, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's that smell when your colleagues got bad personal hygiene and the weather just got hot. Hello guys, we've had some really hot weather here in the UK in the last few days. It was 34 degrees yesterday, so I wanted to give you a quick video on my top tips for staying fragrant and fresh in the really hot weather. This is not really a fragrance suggestions video, although I will mention a couple, but it's other general tips to stay fresh and clean, allowing you to be fragrant in the hot heat. And it's aimed mainly at people going about your daily business in a city, so maybe in America or Europe, where we're not used to very hot weather most of the time, but it has suddenly become hot and we're not on vacation putting our feet up, but we have to stay fresh, clean and presentable. Here's a few top tips for fragrance enthusiasts. Number one tip then is you must shower often, so shower at every possible opportunity if there's a heat wave going on. So in the morning, if you get other chances to nip into the shower anywhere that you are throughout the day, take every opportunity to wash yourself as thoroughly as possible. It's the most important thing. You can't cover up bad smells very effectively with any fragrance, so just make sure you're clean. Number two tip for men: under the armpit hair needs to go in hot weather because it's a magnet for bad smells and it makes you sweat more because it makes you hotter under there. So shave under your armpits, you'll feel fresher and cleaner and it's easier to stop yourself sweating. And then of course apply a good antiperspirant deodorant, or if you don't like antiperspirants because they kind of clog up the pores, at least a good deodorant that will neutralize any bad smells that might creep out of the pores under your arms. Next tip then, loose cotton clothing is the way to go for fragrance enthusiasts in the hot weather. Okay, so we want cotton clothing because it breathes well. Polyester and unnatural things tend to make you sweat more and there's more chance of them smelling bad. And if you can wear white clothing, that's probably my favourite colour in the really hot heat, because if you do sweat a little bit, then a white shirt doesn't show it up. You can't see it very much. If you see someone wearing a light blue shirt, not a great choice in the really hot weather. I'm sure we've all seen people and they've got kind of a damp back with dark navy patches everywhere where the water is. White shirts don't show up sweat so much, so in the hot weather they're a really good choice. It's the best colour to go for. Moisturising is also still a really good idea when it's really hot, as it is any other time. Don't think, oh, I won't bother because I'm going to sweat, I know it's not worth it. I use After Sun all over my body in the day. It's got aloe vera, this one, in it, and that has a cooling effect on the skin, so moisturisers with a cooling effect are very handy to use. Actual fragrances then, avoid anything showy. People are going to be annoyed in the really hot weather. They're going to be feeling irritable. You're going to really annoy them if you are smelling like, oh, look at me, I'm wearing a really strong aftershave. It's not appropriate in the hot weather, and so it's really the time to go for your fresh, soapy, transparent scents. Things like Mugler cologne maybe would be a good choice. Aqua Amara, maybe. It's about as heavy as I'd go in scent. Could be a bit headache inducing if you spray too much, but yeah, maybe if you really like something like that. Some of these designer fresh ones can be good if you're sensible with your use of the trigger. Fresh citrus marine-like smells like this one, it could be okay in the hot heat. Neroli is a great choice in this kind of weather then. Neroli just has a really soapy, lovely smell that is clean. So Neroli Bianca, recently sadly discontinued by Guerlain, that's one I've been using this week. Really gives Neroli Portofino from Tom Ford a run for its money. And of course one of my real favourites, Ferrari Bright Neroli, would just be a superb choice at this time of the year when we're struggling with the heat. It's just a real invigorating smell, can't annoy anyone, and will make you smell clean, whether you're a man or a woman in fact. Other little tips then: drink water. Drink plenty of water as often as possible. It will cool you down. The more refrigerated it is, the better. This is a 7-Up bottle, but it's got water in it. And water keeps you hydrated and means that if you do perspire, which you naturally will in the hot weather, mostly what comes out will be pure. It'll be mainly water and not nasty, smelly bacteria. So not only will it keep you cool, but when you do sweat, this will purify the sweat and mean that you're less likely to smell, and that's what we want. If you have the opportunity to change your clothes often, do that. So you can go home if you're in between tasks and chores of the day, you've got a fresh shirt you can slip on, do it. So change clothes as often as you can. This is not the time to wear the same shirt twice in a row. If where you work or where you are in the hot weather is not well ventilated, doesn't have aircon, get a fan, get a desktop fan, spend that £10, £12 or dollars to give yourself some ventilation, stay fresh. Another one, use some mints. This applies pretty much in all weather. Mints are great to make your breath not smell. Please note, I am not sponsored by any mint company. I've seen Jeremy Fragrance pop one into his mouth as he met one of his lovely ladies in the car in one of his videos, and we should all be doing that. We should follow his example. Mints are an essential accessory for any fragrance enthusiast, because it would be pretty horrendous, wouldn't it, if we smelled great on our body and then we had bad breath. So keep that breath fresh throughout the day with mints. So those were some of my top tips for staying fresh and fragrant when the heat is on. I'm talking mainly to people who live in countries where we're not used to it being very hot. If you live in parts of the world where it is normally very hot, I guess it's a different paradigm for you guys. So what's the cultural difference there? Is it okay to wear heavy fragrances in the heat because it's hot all the time, so people have just got used to that and anything goes? Let me know what happens in countries where it's normally very, very hot and what the sort of etiquette is there. But those are some of my tips for those of us in places like London, where it's mostly medium or cold temperature and the hot weather presents a challenge, but also an opportunity for fragrance enthusiasts. Let me know what you thought about this video, any other tips you've got for staying fresh and fragrant in the hot weather, and remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project, but not too much in really hot weather. See you soon, bye bye.